The Washington Wizards lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves on a back-to-back before heading out west for a long road trip. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly from the last two games for the Washington Wizards. Come on, chop it up with us next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, y'all? Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Wizards Daily Newsletter, a one-stop shop for the ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. And start your day with the all-new free Locked On Wizards newsletter. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Scott again, and I'm here with my guy AB, and we're going to recap the last couple games from last night and tonight. And Lord have mercy, AB. I mean, one game was a lot more competitive than the other, but wow. So, like I said, we're going to get into the good, the bad, and ugly from the last two games, and then we're going to look kind of ahead because a lot going on this week, both personally and for the team. And then, like I said, we are heading into a West Coast trip, so you guys know how it is. It's going to be some late nights, but it's all good because we know you guys going to be here to rock with your boys. So let's get into it, man. We're going to hit with the first game. Definitely appreciate you guys waiting until today to cover the Oklahoma City Thunder games. Any Commander fans out there, you already know what it is, baby. So, I mean, we had, both me and AB had to cover the Washington Commanders game. So, like I said, big win for the Commanders in the NFL. If you're a Cowboys fan, you ain't got no head coach no more, but look, that's another subject for another day, baby. So, the Washington Wizards, we're going to look at the first game, lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 136-95. Yes, I am not lying to y'all. We lost by 41 points. So, AB, what's your takeaway, man? I mean, was this a total team loss, or was there certain areas that kind of shine more than others?
Yeah, it was just the Thunder showing why they're the first team in the Western or top tier in the Western Conference. Yeah. Again, like 40 points. I mean, we saw in Chicago when they lost by a lot, and I said they have to step it up because the Thunder, they're not on that same level as Chicago. They're way better, and it's just, I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he did his thing again, just superstar, falling on our eyes. The bright spot I would say again, Corey Kispert, we harped on it. He had 17 points. So again, we're trying to see these last couple of games. We've seen the ups, and hopefully it will be consistent because we harp on it time and time again that he's been inconsistent. But leading scorer of the Thunder was Thunder and Wizards game. So again, bro, like at the end of the day, the Wizards, like the talent gap is there. It's the Thunder, but we just want to see fight, and that against the Thunder, there really just wasn't much of a fight. Give me a 136. You can't win an NBA game.
Whoa, they left the fight in the locker room, bro. Like, I mean, it looked close in the first quarter, man, and then it just. Because I was checking out the game. Like I said, we couldn't do the recap because again the Commanders game started. But obviously I checked the game, and it's just the first quarter was it. I mean, no fight. And first of all, hold up before we get into it on my take, man. John Wall is back in the building, man. My guy John Wall back in the building. Definitely got a tribute video and got a shout out. But getting back into it, it just here goes Brian Keefe. He only took one question, and he rolled out, and he kind of took the blame. But I don't think it's all on him. I mean, it was just no effort. This was just, I don't know if it's losing fatigue or, I mean, I don't know what, it's just, you didn't see them fight at all. I mean, I get it. Oklahoma City, let's be real. They're number one in the West for a reason. They're 32-6. So, I mean, and then if you flip it, we're 6-32. So, shows you all you need to know about the matchup. I mean, they're the best team in the Western Conference, and they're definitely a team that I think has a real shot at the NBA Finals appearance, in my opinion. I mean, Oklahoma City, they're rolling, man. SGA got MVP chance, man, and Cap won. I mean, it was that type of night. I mean, what area did they really excel in? I mean, look, we allowed them to shoot 47% from the field, 37% from three, and then you turn around, we only shot 19% from three and 33% for the field. So, I mean, their shot was on, ours was off. Rebounding, they out-rebounded us 65-45, including 15 offensive rebounds. I mean, if it means anything, we won in the turnover battle. We committed 18 to the 13, but 44 points in the paint for them, 19 fast break points, 23 second chance points, and 25 points off of turnovers. You don't win many games like that, AB. And I mean, and especially against a team like Oklahoma City. I mean, you had to be on point if you want to beat teams like OKC. And it was a hard game to watch. I mean, if we get into the numbers real quick, just from OKC, SGA. He had a bad shooting night, and he still dropped 27.7 rebounds and 4 assists. He shot 5 for 17, 1 for 4 from the field. But if you look at the big key factor was 16 from 17 from the charity strike. So he was able to get in there. He got some calls. I mean, he's going to get the superstar calls, man. Jalen Williams, 17 points. And then Wiggins on the second unit for the Thunder dropped 23 points. So he definitely shined for the second unit for the Thunder. But looking at the Wiz kids, the star of the show was Corey Kispert. He led all Wizards with 17 points, man. I mean, the shots were not dropping. I mean, it was a combination of just not hitting wide open looks and trying to shoot the hard looks, man. I mean, if you look at the numbers in the starting five, I mean, Bub Carrington 5.7 rebounds, 7 assists, but 2 for 10 for the field, 1 for 6 from 3. Jordan Poole, 13 points, and he was the focal point of the Thunder's defense. And they definitely did their scouting report. I mean, his shot just wasn't there, and it was a combination. They were really on him. They definitely forced him to make hard decisions, and look, he committed 6 turnovers. So, but he was 3 for 10, 0 for 6 from the field. And like I said, he was definitely a focal point of the defense for the Thunder. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma. Not his best game either. 2 for 12 for the field, over 6 from 3, 6 points. So the Thunder did a great job shutting both of them down. I mean, they're a defensive team. Jalen Williams can defend. SJ can defend. This is a good, very balanced team in Oklahoma City. And that's why I think that they're going to definitely make some noise in Western Conference because they're balanced. They can defend. They can shoot. Ball movement was fluid. I mean, they caught us sleeping, AB. I mean, look at it. I mean, Bilal, 3 for 12, 1 for 7 for 3, 10 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, Alex Sarr, I guess, was one of the better moments in the starting five, 10.6 rebounds on 4 for 7 from the field, including 2 for 4 from 3. But the Thunder did their scouting report. I mean, they shut the key figures down, which to me, they shut down Kuzma, to shut down Poole, to shut down Bilal. And they forced other people to step up. I mean, second unit, not much better. Keyshawn George, 8 points, but 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. Valanciunas did his thing as usual. I mean, he was probably, outside of Kispert, was probably one of the better performers with 11 points, 8 rebounds, and an efficient 4 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. But outside of that, Champagnie 2 points, Butler in limited action. Butler's, I mean, let me ask you, ZB. Butler, 8 minutes. I don't know if I agree with that. And like I said, I don't think this loss is completely on BK, but I think you got to give Jared Butler more minutes. And then you can argue Champagnie, 13 minutes. I think that, you probably could have got them a lot more minutes. What do you think?
Definitely. No, that was one thing that I was looking at the box, and I was like, why did they get that many? They didn't get them, only got that many minutes. It's so limited. Because, again, these guys are young guys, and they fit the timeline. And when you're already losing by 30 to 40 points, what's the harm in putting those guys in? Legitimately, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, you make the argument that you want to play the vets, get the trade value in, but also you don't want that to harm the development of these guys. So it's like we made all this progress of getting these guys from the go to on the Washington Wizards, but it's like, what are we doing where we're not giving them enough minutes? So a questionable decision there by Coach Keefe. But again, I mean, you'd say losing fatigue, like down by 40. I mean, it's just like, what can you do at that point,
I mean, you hit it nail on the head. What can you do? I mean, they got outperformed in every major category except for turnovers. And then the defense, AB, is just, it's the same thing, to a certain degree, like under Wesley So Jr., where you expected a better performance defensively because he's known for being a defensive coach. And then looking at BK, same thing, not only from a development standpoint, but he's known to be a guy who definitely make guys better defensively. And like I said, I don't think it's on him because he's in a really precarious situation. He's got to find minutes for the veterans. He's got to showcase veterans. He's got to try to develop young talent, and he's got to try to get second year guy in Bilal to really getting him to really step up in year 2, and he has. But like I said, it's a bad spot for BK.
And he's first year as a head coach too. I don't know if you mentioned that. It's balancing all of that on your plate. It's like it's just like so a lot to ask for in your first year, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with you. It's a lot to ask, man. I mean, it's not on BK. It's not. I mean, you could try to dig in these guys all you want, but they have to show the effort on the court, man. And we're going to talk about the T-Wolves because there was a better performance, a lot more effort, but still, looking at the Thunder game, it was hard to watch. Look, bro, you lose by 41 points, man. I mean, that's got to shake some people up. That's
at home too, B.
At home, you got John Wall sitting over there chilling. I mean, you got MVP chance for SGA. I mean, it is not your John Wall's Wizards, man. I mean, and like I said, there's nothing. It's no shade. You know what I mean? Like, I like where we're at. I believe in what the front office is doing. I like the fact we're rebuilding. I think we do have one heck of a young core. We have some veterans in this team that a few of them look like they could be long-term pieces, and a lot of them definitely, have been good key contributors here. But it's time to move on from a few of them. So it's no shade, but let's be real. I mean, 41 points, man. I mean, yeah, you can argue, yes, the talent gaps, OKC, but to be the best, you got to beat the best. And, kind of reverting back to football a little bit, a lot of people are saying, they didn't want the Commanders to face the Eagles or the Lions. I'm like, yo, you got to go through the best to be the best, man. Like, that's the way it should be. You got to beat the best to be the best. And if you want this to be a championship team one year, in the future, man, you've got to, the culture is a real thing, man. You have to play hard, play to win. And 41 points, yeah, it's OKC, but still, defense was just non-existent. Lord, I'm all emotional here. I can't get the word out. I mean, existent, man. I mean, it's just, it was hard to watch, man. So, like I said, T-Wolves was a better performance. So we're going to recap the T-Wolves game tonight, and then we're going to get into comments. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Ultimate College Head Coach. I want to make a moment to introduce you to a brand new mobile game that I'm really excited about, Ultimate College Basketball Head Coach. If you ever dreamed of being a college head coach, this is your chance to step into those shoes. In Ultimate College Basketball Head Coach, you control every detail of your program, from recruiting players and hiring coaching staff to overseeing training camps, handling NIL deals, and managing scholarships. It's all in your hands. Come on now. And when it comes to game time, you get to drop offensive plays and set your strategy. The way you play won't just affect the current season. It will shape the future of your school's basketball program. It's a game that lets you feel the full weight of what it means to be a head coach and lead your team to glory. So look, here's a special offer from Locked On NBA listeners. Use promo code Locked On NCBB, all caps, inside the game store to get a free boost for your program. It's a perfect way to kickstart your coaching career. To download the Ultimate College Basketball Head Coach, just visit ultimate-cbb.com or look it up in the app stores. Ultimate College Basketball Head Coach. Begin your coaching legacy today. Don't even wait on it. Today. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by Game Time. I love going to live events. You guys know that. Whether it's sports tickets, music events, theater events, or comedy shows. One of my favorite memories, I said all the time, was attending a concert last year. 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes. Good Lord. Come on now. For all you old school hip-hop hits, you know what it is to hear the whole catalog of Busta Rhymes. Come on. The energy and excitement were unforgettable. Now, Game Time has made it easier to get tickets for your favorite events with the new feature, Game Time Picks. This feature filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And like I said, guys, I said all the time, I go to games year-round, every sport, college, and professional. And to me, Game Time's the best. It's not even close. And a lot of good reasons. But look, don't take my word for it. Take the guesswork of buying tickets for Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And again, create an account and redeem code Locked On NBA, LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time, baby. All right, man, let's get back into this thing. So, reverting to the night, the Washington Wizards do drop to the Minnesota Timberwolves 120-106. And AB, let me say this was a much more competitive game overall, and it took a little bit for Anthony Edwards to get going, but when he got started, he rolled, man. And if you look at the courses back-to-back, SGA and Anthony Edwards, two players where you're not going to stop these guys. These are these top-tier players in the association. You only hope to slow them down, man. So, I mean, what was the problem tonight? Was it defense again, or was it the, looking from the offensive standpoint, the total lack of ball movement and moving out the basketball?
Sorry about that, VO. My mouse messed up. Oh no, with the T-Wolves again. Like, I was happy that it was a good fight up into that fourth quarter where they scored 38 points. And again, Anthony Edwards, he'll get his buckets. I mean, 40. I mean, he's just Ant-Man's is a different beast. But offensively, again, going back to the lack of ball movement, it's just hard to win in today's NBA if there's not that much ball movement, especially when you're a young team with very little experience. Especially the Timberwolves, they're also not. You can make an argument not as good as the Thunder, but they're a good team in the Western Conference. Yeah. So again, like tonight, seeing Alex Sarr and Kuz and Poole put up a better fight compared to the Thunder, that's a positive. But at the end of the day, I mean, Ant-Man took over. Julius Randle was going left and no other direction. So it's just hard to slow down a team in the Timberwolves like that.
Yes, the same issues that hit the Wizards all year long hit us tonight. I mean, defense, like I said, don't let Randle go left. And he went left and he capitalized. And then Ant-Man, I'm telling you, that dude, he is going to be the face of this league. I mean, between him and SGA, I mean, the league is in good hands with some young talent. I mean, Ant-Man is unreal. And he's one of those guys where you're not going to stop him. You just hope to try to slow him down. But tonight was a learning experience for Alex Sarr. And I feel like Alex Sarr is a guy who's definitely got better from the beginning of the year to now. week in and week out, he has improved. And again, I think that is a testament to not only the work ethic, what they got going on with these young guys. They're getting young guys who want to work, want to get better. In Bilal, Alex Bub, the list goes on. Keyshawn George, list goes on. So, but tonight, I think it was a learning experience for Alex Sarr. If you look at the rebounding numbers, they got out rebounded 67-39, 14 offensive rebounds, 6 blocks throughout 3. It led to 48 points in the paint, and let's see, second chance points, 15 second chance points. So, I mean, Gobert, offensively very limited, but a guy who's very active in rebounding. I mean, how many defensive player of the year awards he got? I mean, he's a guy who's, he's one of the best defending centers, not only in the league, but in the history league, in my opinion. So, I mean, he was very limited, 11 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block, but it was obviously the Ant-Man show, 41 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 14 for 25 from the field, 5 for 11 from the 3-point. And then Julius Randle, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Tonight, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole tried to be aggressive. So I'm not going to knock. I'm not going to say I'm not going to knock them, because there were some bad looks that were being attempted by both of them, man. But I feel like they try to be aggressive to try to make up for it. And this was a lot more competitive. But again, efficiency took the back. I mean, Kyle Kuzma, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, but 9 for 21 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3. Jordan Poole, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, but 8 for 21 from the field, 4 for 11 from 3. I mean, efficiency, they were very inefficient. But then on the flip side of the coin, you expect those two to be very aggressive, especially because, let's be real, we are going to have a massive talent gap against both teams in this league. And when, Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma are our 1-2 scoring punch. And I mean, if you want to hope to stay with a team like Minnesota, I guess you expect them to be aggressive. But then again, AB, we say it all the time, man. Aggression usually comes at the expense of inefficiency. So, inefficiency hurt us. And I believe they tried. Bilal, this was a better game for Bilal. And like I said, there's been a lot of noise about, whether Bilal fits better with JP. He doesn't fit well with Kuz. But, either way, he has to perform. You know what I mean? I believe that, some players play better with others. It is what it is, but you have to perform, man. And, I think he rushed a lot of shots against OKC. Now, tonight, he was a lot better as far as efficiency. 15 points, but shooting 6 for 10 for the field, 2 for 2 from 3, 1 for 1 from the charity strike, and 1 steal. So this was a better game. And then Bub Carrington, slower night. His offense has been very, very inconsistent. So, hopefully he'll find some more, consistency in the second half. And then looking at the second unit, yeah, Kispert, 2 points. So, 17-2. Again, the name of the game for the Wizards and why they've struggled, yes, defensively, we're bad. Rebounding, back and forth, we're very inconsistent. Offensively, lack of movement on offense hurts his team. But I think if you can sum it up in one word, it'll be inconsistency. We're very inconsistent. So, I mean, is that kind of where you're at with the Wiz tonight, man?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was also going to mention with Sarr, he almost had that scary fall. I don't know if it's the duck and tap. That was scary because, again, like, he's a young guy. We don't want him to get hurt, but he got up, like, nailed both free throws. But again, yeah, it's all about consistency in the NBA. And this is a young team, so it's like, how much consistency can you expect? And with Coach Keefe, it's like a lot on your plate, dealing with these vets and the young guys' development, hearing all those types of noise, locker room drama that could come into play. At the end of the day, I think this Wizards team, you're really going to have to see how they are and look themselves in the mirror after this trade deadline, because some of the guys will be moved, and therefore the usage of these young guys will go up. And that's going to be really exciting. And up until then, we got what we have right now. But I will say, again, going from losing 40 to putting up a fight for 3 quarters, it was a good improvement, especially from a young team like the Wiz.
Oh, absolutely. They definitely responded because, like I said, Hickles Brian Keefe had only one comment following the Thunder loss, and he put it on himself. He blamed himself, and I don't think it's entirely on him. Is he flawless? No. I mean, I think this is a team sport for a reason, but I don't think a majority is not on BK. They responded. He's been a guy who's gotten a reaction from these guys, so they responded. But the fall, bad fall. But like I said, to me, I thought it was kind of weird. Like, they went over there and tried to see if it was a flagrant foul. It's like, you can look at it and see that, Nas Reed wasn't trying to hurt him, man. And this is where we're at in the NBA. Like, you got to do a replay every time somebody hits the ground to try to see if it's a flagrant foul. And it's like, come on now, do we not forget? I mean, a lot of people don't, but I remember, man. I remember the years where, the Jordan rules. Come on now. Look, Detroit put them on the floor every game, probably 30, 40 times, man. I mean, and like I said, totally different era. I'm not trying to compare it, but, you go through the lane, you go up high. I mean, that is something that happens. So I'm so glad, like you said, I'm glad that Sorry is not hurt long term, because I don't want to see his development be curbed, man. Obviously I don't want him hurt, but like I said, that's just something that's a risk you take when you go through the lane. Like we both play ball. You go through that lane, man. Look, you're gonna get checked. So
yeah.
So
I was going to say, B, when it comes to flagrant fouls, it used to, even like 2014, 2015, it was rare. And now it's like every other minute, there's always like a review and like you have to watch replay. So that does suck. I'm a younger guy. Like I'm not even like, it's just like, it does suck that it's like that, because it used to be like, oh, like breaking news, this person got a flagrant foul. And now it's just so common.
Well, no, I mean, Drew Gooden made a good point, man, where he said, if they would have gave him a flagrant, then, players would just let people go through the lane because they don't even want to get caught with a flagrant foul. And officiating has just been all over the place, man. I mean, the NBA, I mean, we both have talked about it before in previous episodes. The NBA is losing a lot of viewership. And you're looking at, hockey's making it come up, man. I mean, now baseball making it come up. They made a lot of changes in baseball with the pitch clock where, I mean, the NBA's got to figure something out, man. They got to toughen the game up a little bit more. I mean, yeah, you don't want to see players hit the floor like that. Good thing he didn't use his wrist or his hand and try to stop the fall, because that's how John Wall hurt his hand in the playoffs against, the Toronto Raptors, where, he tried to brace himself and he broke his hand, and that was very unfortunate. But so I'm glad he's not hurt. But I mean, it's basketball. I mean, look, anybody who knows ball, man, knows, look, you go through lane, you're gonna get checked. Ain't nobody about to let you just come up in there and dunk on nobody, man. I mean, that's what it is. It's a pride thing. You ain't dunking on me, and you don't put me on no poster. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't really go either way with it because it's a risk you take. But it was a harder fought game. But ultimately, just talent gap. I mean, and you're going to see that we're a very young and unproven team, and it is what it is. No shade on my Wiz kids. I mean, look, I love the direction these young guys, this young core we have. I like them. I love them. I mean, especially when we add in 2025, when we're cooking with some fish grease, man. I mean, but it is what it is. This is where we're at in the rebuild. Year 2, you're going to have a massive talent gap against both teams. So, like I said, Ant-Man, it took a while. And I believe that Bilal played good defense for the most part. I mean, he pulled off some kind of shot in the first half. I was like, whoa. And Bilal, he actually played really good defense on him. But Ant-Man, he's one of those guys where you're not going to stop. You try to slow him down, but you're not going to stop guys like that. So, like I said, back to back, the Wiz kids, man, look, they're about to hit out west, AB. So, we're going to get into the West Coast trip schedule for next week. And, man, I got some news for this week coming up, man. So, definitely some things to look forward to for me covering the team this week. So, we're going to get into that. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by OpenPhone. Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats. Your personal phone becomes your personal or your business phone. Right? And before you know it, you're juggling customer calls day and night. As your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage everything with just your personal number. That's where OpenPhone comes in. It's the number one business phone system designed to help you keep your work and personal life separate. For just $15 a month, the cost of a few coffees, that's it. You get complete transparency and visibility in everything happening with your business phone number. OpenPhone works through an app on your phone or computer and integrates with tools like HubSpot and hundreds of others. It also uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you have a rundown of your calls and action items the second you hang up the phone. And if you miss a call, no problem. Automated messages are sent directly to your customer, ensuring you never miss an opportunity to engage. Right now, OpenPhone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's OpenPhone.com/LockedOnNBA for 20% off 6 months. OpenPhone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no additional cost. It's that easy. All right, let's get back into this thing, man. So let's get into the comments. But before we do, I'm going to give everybody a rundown of what to expect over the course of the next couple of weeks. Now, Wednesday, I will be having to sit down with Jordan Poole with a one-on-one, man, to do a Q&A with my man, JP13. So I'm going to try to get to know him and try to get you guys to get to know my man real quick. So like I said, I will be down there at the practice facility chopping up with my guy, JP13 on Wednesday. Thursday, I will be covering the team for the Phoenix Suns Washington Wizards matchup. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go live from Capital One. So definitely expect a live recap from Capital One. So looking forward, guys. Like I said, the Washington Wizards are about to go on a West Coast trip. So let me break it down for you guys real quick. Because there's going to be a lot of late videos. So obviously Thursday, again, we're home against Phoenix. And then Saturday, we head out to San Fran. So Saturday will be the beginning of a West Coast trip where they go to Golden State January 18th. Then Sunday, they're at Sacramento. Then at Los Angeles, which is a 10:30 game. So we're probably looking around 1 o'clock live, going live, man. So like I said, definitely appreciate all you hardcore Locked On Wizards fans out there, man. Then at Utah, at Phoenix, at Dallas. So they wrap it up at Dallas on January 27th. So like I said, guys, definitely tune in. It's going to be late. You know how we roll, man. Me and E, my guy to reel it off, man. We rolled late the last couple of years, and it looks like me and AB going to roll with the same thing, man. So like I said, it's going to be some late nights, but definitely appreciate you guys rock with us, man. So West Coast trip coming up. And like I said, I'm going to be very active covering the team this week. Looking forward to chopping up with JP13, man. Definitely appreciate him taking some time out to rock with me.
If you can be, just tell JP AB said what's up.
Got you. You already know, brother. So, all right, let's get into the comments, man. So, like I said, I definitely appreciate everybody waiting to the day because I had to watch my Wiz kids, man. But like I said, I had to watch my Commanders, but I had to watch my Wiz kids too, man. So it was all love. Kicking it off like he always does, Locked On Law. And he says they can't play any worse tonight than they did against the Thunder, right? This comment was at 6:47. So, like I said, my guy Locked On Law kicking it off like he always does, man. He also says 17 points in the quarter. You got to be effing. You guys kind of see what the comment is. And for you guys on the podcast side listening in, man, some choice words, man. So let's see. Joshua Cotton, how you doing tonight? Says hard fought game. That's what we like to see. Absolutely. You know, I like to see them play hard, play to win. That is the mantra, man. So I like to see it. Talent gap, yes, but look, we're going to get there. Get in. What's up? It says it was a well-fought effort for 3 quarters. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, too. I mean, they fought hard, but ultimately they fell short. It is what it is. Locked On Law says Poole can't guard anyone at the 2. He had his struggles. I mean, but I think that overall he has had a better year defensively, a lot better year. I mean, last year there was times he was unplayable, and then this year he's become a really good defender. But you know, at times, you know, especially against faster guys, man, you know, he did have his challenges. Vax with a Z. I hope I said it right. He says, I need Johnny Davis on a different team. I think they're definitely going to accommodate you at some point. You know, it is what it is at that point, man. He has not lived up to being 10th overall. So it is what it is. Locked On Law. He is definitely entertaining us tonight. He says, these fools couldn't guard my mother. Okay. I'm respect your take, man. Like I said, appreciate the take. Bucket Getter says the second unit after the starters' first run set the tone tonight. Love Keyshawn. Keyshawn, I'll say this. I love him as a player. I think he, you know, especially defensively, a lot more problems defensively than I expected out of the draft, AB. But I'm going to ask you, AB, real quick, man. Do you think he could be a little too dependent on that 3-point shot?
Yeah, no, I've seen that's been kind of the theme as of recently to just be too dependent. And again, it might be because, you know, the new generation, you know, that's what he's known for doing. And he was thriving in that. I remember at one point, 8 threes in the game, 24 points. But at the end of the day, I always say if it's not falling, you got to take it to the paint. You got to be aggressive. And I get it. You're going up against Rudy Gobert this night. But in order for you to, like you mentioned, in order to get better, you have to go with the best. And Rudy Gobert's at the best at rim defending.
Now I'm with you. To be the best, you got to beat the best, man. I'm trying to tell you. Nomadic Brian says, got killed on the boards. Amen. Minnesota late surge, maybe figured out the 3-point shooting better than previous 2 games. Yeah, I mean, we've got to find consistency. You know, my thing is this, AB. Look, we're gonna lose a lot of games. I'm not sweating it. It is what it is. The only ask, and I think I only ask for a lot of the fan base is just fight hard, man. I mean, it's a big difference between just losing and putting you know, great effort and getting blown out by 41. I mean, you know, Brian Keefe, I mean, he just rolled out his presence. I mean, what do you say? I mean, you know, it's hard. 41 points. That's butt whooping, man. I mean, that's yeah, they got curb style. I mean, it was, you know, 41 points is a whole nother level of butt whooping, man.
You called 20 a blowout, but 40 is just like complete abomination.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I expect a talent gap for the most part. I mean, I'm not even upset. You know, I expect this team to lose a lot of games. You know, look, love or hate of tanking, even though we're not official. But, you know, look, we're definitely going to be in a position to get Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey, man. I mean, but I just want to see the effort. The culture is the most important part. You know, the culture is what you want to carry this team forward. That's something you start, and that carries you forward, man. You know, you got to have that culture of playing hard and playing to win the game. And I get it. It's one thing to lose if there's a clear talent gap. It's a totally different thing to get blown out in that fashion on your home court where you have SGA getting MVP chance on the home floor, man. I mean, look, I'm like I said, I don't like that. I don't like that happening on my own floor, man. Like, you know, I got that old mentality, man, where you ain't gonna come on my court doing that. But I mean, we're just an easy target to do that on, man. And I want that to change. That if you know, That's something I definitely want to change. I want to see that, you see the Commanders, switching up the sports real quick, but looking at the Capitals, looking at the Commanders, their fan base is becoming vibrant. I want to see that our fan base with the Wizards become vibrant, especially the better we get, man. Definitely do not want MVP chance on our floor. Nah, ain't happening, man. Locked and log in. This team is an embarrassment. It is what it is. Let's see, guys. We're at the 30-minute mark. So I'm trying to knock out these comments, man. I hate to miss anybody's comments. Milton A asked a good question. Why can't Butler get consistent minutes? That's a good question. That's definitely a question I'd like to ask BK, man. Is Jared Butler has proved it, in my opinion. I mean, he's played good basketball. Like I said, you got to showcase vets, you got to progress young talent. But I think Jared Butler has proven that he's deserving of definitely increasing minutes, man. Same thing with Justin Champagny. So I'm with you on that. Bullet Body says at Milton politics. Like I said, they got to showcase these vets, man. But I think that again, Champagny and Butler have proven to be key contributors, especially in the second unit, man. You give them those minutes, in my humble opinion. Brando, you trip, man. He says Brando72 says they should change the team name from Wizards to Generals. More appropriate when it's Telios is going to sell, man. I don't think he's selling anytime soon, man. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there's been whispers out there that the reason why he sold the arena to DC was if he wanted to move the team, he could. So I mean, that's just I've heard that from a few folk, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like I said, it is what it is. And there's been talk he's going to buy the Nationals. And for all you Nats fans out there, I mean, I got to be honest with you. We need something to happen. Them not spending money this offseason really had me feeling a certain type of way, man. So we'll see. See Dan Tico84, how you doing tonight? He says we have to get these guys some ultimate moves. Bilal looks like he wants to counter, but seems to second guess himself. Yeah, that's something that I talked to a few people about. Bilal second guesses himself a lot, and he knows that a lot of people see him breaking out year two, a lot more responsibility put on him. Just go out there and play, young man. Just go out there and play. Just play your game, be cool. You know how to play. Just don't the pressure, especially for a young player. Yeah, but you definitely see him second guess himself, man. We know you can ball, man. Just go out there and play your game. Locked the Law says Poole and Kuzma love to be aggressive when they're shooting like butt. I mean, Locked on the Law, man. You don't Lord. Let's see. This is a trade. Dan Tico 84 says Kuz to Detroit for Fontecchio, Hardaway, and 3 second-round picks. Look, AB, I think we're gonna have every second-round pick from now to like 2050, man. Like,
yeah, I'm tired of seeing second rounder, bro. As much as because it sucks because at one point it was 2 firsts. Now seeing seconds, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, but like I said, man, the trade value has gone down in our vets, man. So, first-round pick out of the 3, who can you realistically think can pull us a first-round pick? And that's what I'm saying. You could see a scenario where 2 out of 3 guys, man, could be on the team after the deadline. So that's where I'm at. Locked on says Kuzma to Russia for Brittany Griner. Okay. I don't even know what to say that, man.
He's on one tonight, man.
He's on it tonight, man. Justin Pilkington. I hope I didn't butcher that. He says, "Hey, Brandon, how you doing tonight, man? Not Wiz related, but what do you think about the NBA adding 2 team expansion, and what are the 2 cities you see being selected?" Ooh, I love that question. I love it, and I think that Vegas and Seattle is not even close. I know Mexico City was a city that was kind of floated out there. Now, obviously, the reasons why some people are hesitant because of non-basketball related stuff. Obviously, what was going on in Mexico with the cartel violence, stuff like that. So, that's one potential hiccup. But eventually, I'd like to see a team in Mexico City, man. You've seen Toronto had one, Vancouver had one, man. So, definitely want to see a team in Mexico at some point. But like I said, that is non-basketball related, man. Mr. Cash Out says Wizards absolutely suck in his rebuild. I mean, that's the point of rebuilds, man. Like, you're gonna suck, He says not trying to troll. Nah, you're good, man. I get what you're saying. It's all good, man. Rome Calico was good. He says every player coach has played and coached Timberwolves and Wizards, such as David Vanderpool, Wizards assistant coach, and Tyus Jones, Monty Morris. Yeah. Good point when it came to connection to the Timberwolves, man. Like it. Mr. Cashhouse is kind of upset with the front office. I would give them some time, man. I don't think that's too early to really judge the front office, man. Like I said, I'm willing to give them some time because they've made good moves, especially in the draft. And trade-wise, they were decent. But I think I definitely expect, I'm not going to say a huge splash, but definitely want to see what kind of returns we can get at the trade deadline. Hoping to get a young player in return. But I think that, General Manager Will Dawkins is going to do his thing in this draft, man. I mean, like I said, I will criticize when I have to, and I will give love when I have to, man. But like I said, I don't see too much outside of Tyus Jones to really criticize the front office, man. Because we've made some really under the radar moves, in my opinion. So, like I said, I do feel you, but I think it's a little too early. Dan Tico 84. We're gonna check out and knock out a couple more comments, everybody. Dan Tico 84 says, "Do we run any plays? It looks like blacktop basketball out there at times. Yeah, no, yeah, run some sets, some screens, something. I'm not hating, but I want to see them play basketball. No, that's not hating, man. You bring up a legitimate concern. And I was talking to my wife about it when we were sitting there watching the game, and it's like, she's like, baby, there's like 4 people on the perimeter and 1 guy in the paint. Like, nobody's moving. They're just standing there waiting for the ball. It's like, has the skill of moving out the basketball totally left the NBA? I mean, Corey Kisper's pretty much the only guy on the team that moves without the basketball. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know if it's like a play calling or it's just to me, it's Jonas Valanciunas picking at the top of the key and then handing the ball off to a shooter. I mean, it's no ball movement, no player movement. It's hard to watch, man. So this will be, we're gonna do one more, man. We're gonna do 2 more real quick. Mr. Cashout says the fact that this front office could have shipped out Kuzma last year when his value was at his highest and chose not to is asinine. Let alone signing vests that are still in minutes from young core. I appreciate your take, man, but I'll say this. I know the one thing. I mean, they did ask Kuzma if he wanted to go, and I agree with that. That was a bad choice, but they wanted us to take on Grant Williams, and that was the one hiccup from a potential trade with the Dallas Mavericks last year. But I do agree with you. I think the best case trading Kuz would have been during the draft, shipping him to Sacramento for the number 13th pick. You keep Denny, you still get Bub, you still get Keyshawn. So, I mean, it is what it is. The ship has sailed, but, to me, that is one hiccup. But, I think Kuzma and really you can argue to a certain degree Tyus Jones are the only hiccups that with Will Dawkins. Would you agree, AB?
Yeah, and I was about to say, like, hopefully it's the only, because, again, the 2 first-round picks, it is what it is, and the whole Denny thing, but we'll see how it works out. If Denny becomes a superstar in Portland, and I mean, you can obviously say that they won that trade, but at the end of the day, I trust Will Dawkins because, again, look at the guy that he's competing against, Rumfeld and Tommy Shepard. So you have to have trust in him, and you have to trust the process because we're a young team, and just be patient. That's all. Honestly, all you could say. Because I know a lot of fans are going to be upset, well, from what we get in return for Kuz, but at the end of the day, you got something out of him, and you just got to work something. You got to work with it.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with you, brother. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to call it a night, everybody. Like I said, we're going to be dropping the Stephen Powers interview tomorrow. So expect that video to hit at 7:00. And then me and AB going to do some trade talks this week. But like I said, Wednesday, I'm going to put the Q&A interview with me and Jordan Poole in the newsletter, and then I'm going to cover it to a certain degree. So like I said, definitely looking forward to that interview with JP13. And Thursday, we'll be going live for Cap 1. So definitely look out for that. So again, guys, we will see you guys on Wednesday because like I said, the Stephen Powers interview is going to hit. I already got a schedule. So we're going to be taking the night off, but a video will be hidden. So definitely get in the comment section and let us know what you guys think about the Stephen Powers interview. So all right, everybody. Everybody have a blessed night. See you guys on Wednesday. See you guys on Wednesday. Hail to the Wizards and peace.